they've said the same thing, that their animal health bill it's gone down by at least half. So it's that has to say something for happier, healthier cows are going to produce more milk.
Hello and welcome to the Dairy Experience podcast. I'm your host, Rick Mayer. In this episode, we are heading down to the beautiful Chudleigh, Tasmania, to talk to Shannon Barwick. Shannon is a young dairy farmer at Elton Vale. Now, Elton Vale is doing some really interesting things with tech. They are running 4 Lely Astronaut A5 automatic milking robots to milk their herd using an ABC grazing setup, which, as many of our listeners know, is a real game changer for managing pastures and robotics. Welcome to the show, Shannon.
Thanks for having me.
To kick things off, Shannon, give us a bit of background. What is your role on the farm? Who are you running the business with? And what does the scale of Elton Vale look like today in terms of cow numbers and hectares?
No worries. So I'm third generation on the home dairy farm here. So my grandparents bought it in the 60s, and they milked cows through firstly a walk-through dairy, and then expanded to a herringbone, and then that expanded again, and they was milking around 300 cows through 22 swing over herringbone. My partner and I decided that we wanted to come back to the family farm in 2023, and we spoke with Craig Stokes from DMI about putting in a robotic dairy with 4 robots, and we built the new dairy in 2024. So this is our second season, and it's going along beautifully. So we own the farm itself. We own 130 hectares and we lease 110. Of that, the dairy platform is 90 hectares, and then the rest is runoff for young stock, so we don't have to send any cattle out on agistment, which means we have a lot more control over what's happening with our young stock on a day-to-day basis.
Now, you are a young woman in the industry. What drew you into dairy farming, and what keeps you passionate about it day to day?
I guess being born and bred on the dairy farm and being in the dairy from a young age has probably got a lot to do with it. And I think once you have had the lifestyle, it's hard to do anything else. I guess one thing, or the things I enjoy most about it, the interactions with the cows every day. They're just, and breeding the cows and seeing the calves grow up and how they come into the dairy and things like that. And I guess everything's different. Every day is different. You're doing the same things, but you just never know what you're going to come up against from day to day, what challenges are going to arrive. So that's always fun.
Yeah.
And I guess the farm was a little bit run down when we took it on. So seeing improvements on a daily basis, the more you put in, the more you get out. That's really rewarding too. And knowing it's something that's just benefiting us and the cows and the family, which is the most important thing.
And for our listeners, can you paint a picture for us of the actual layout of your farm? And can you walk us a little bit through how you've set up your laneways, how the pre-milking area works, and also where the Lely astronauts are placed to make the ABC rotation work seamlessly at your farm? Yeah.
We're quite lucky that the old dairy was pretty central in our platform. But we built a whole new shed and shifted it. It's probably still only 100 metres from the old dairy. But so we was able to use existing laneways. We only had to double up one laneway for that C grazing, but that was only probably 100 metres. So it just the new dairy suited exactly the ABC grazing system, which the farm was already luckily laid out well for. So the dairy is central to the 3 laneways. They come straight out the back of the dairy and they're straight onto the lane, which makes it, it's simple. The cows the cows had it worked out within sort of 2 days, and they were all over it, which is very surprising, which made life a lot easier.
Moving to an automatic milking system is a massive decision. What was the driving force behind choosing Lely Robotics for Elton Vale 2 years ago? And how did you decide that automatic milking was the right path for you?
So in my previous job, I had a lot of, a lot of exposure to different farming systems, and I was able to have a look at a lot of Lely robotic farms. So that was a big driver. Just talking to other farmers that have put in the Lely robots gave us the confidence that this is definitely the way we wanted to go. We knew coming back to the farm, the old dairy had it. It had seen its day. It had done enough, and we really didn't want to be chasing staff either. Finding decent staff down here is a major, I guess it is everywhere, but it's very challenging. And with the robots, it just means we can rely on ourselves, and we don't have to worry about that milker calling in that can't get there at sort of 5 o'clock in the morning. So that was important to us too.
What did you see in the Lely setup that gave you the confidence to put them on Elton Vale?
I guess driving past all the time is the dairy maintenance installation utes, and I knew that they were in the area a lot, so we knew that we'd have the service, and from them, if anything did go wrong. They've been great since we put them in, which is probably something that's given us confidence that we can get things fixed and serviced when we need them. Also, with the Lely robots, I liked just the precision of where the cups were at all times. Some of the other machines that we looked at dropped the cups on the ground, which I didn't find very hygienic. So I just think that the Lely robot, just the automation of how precise the cups are, that was a big selling point too.
Then there's a lot of people that think robots only work in barns, but you are running it very successfully on an ABC grazing system. For anyone or for farmers listening who are skeptical about this voluntary cow traffic on grass, what would you say to them?
Oh, good question. Yeah, so we was wondering how the cows were going to adapt to coming from a traditional herringbone dairy and traditionally coming in twice a day. But the cows just adapted so quickly to the gate changes. They're amazing how smart they are at working out what times they get a new paddock. They're so food driven that they yes, it's like they've got little watches on their legs, and they know exactly what time of the day it is. They've worked it out within a couple of weeks, when we didn't have to clear paddocks for long at all. So that was one of the things we were prepared for. Other farmers had told us that we would probably have to be clearing paddocks because they need that motivation. But yeah, within a couple of weeks, they've worked it out. And the new heifers that are coming through, the old girls just teach them what to do. So I would not have any concerns about telling anybody to go to a pasture-based system. It works really well.
How has this change affected your daily routine on the farm? And what are you seeing in the vet in terms of milk production, fats, protein, and cell counts?
So this year we peaked at 280 cows. We did milk 60 through. So I think next year we'll probably come back to maybe peaking at 250 cows. I think that's suitable for this dairy because we are, which I forgot to mention, we are all dry land. We do not have any irrigation whatsoever. So 250 cows on 90 hectares dry land, I think, is achievable, and especially with milking a few through as well. The cows are doing around 520 kilos of milk solids a year at the moment. I'd like to get that up a bit, but again, I've probably had a few too many running through this year, running through at peak season, which if we cut back, we should be able to do a better job of a smaller number. So our cell count is the cows that we bought were amazing cows, and they had a really low cell count, but we sit around 50,000. We've consistently in the top 5 cell counts, or the top 5 lowest cell counts for Saputo, who we supply. Fat's around 4.6% at the moment, and proteins at 3.9. According to our milk room data, we're 8% up on last year, which is always, it's nice to see that little arrow going upwards, which is good.
That is good. Looking ahead, what are the next steps or future goals for you, your family, for Elton Vale over the next few years?
So improve, I think it's every farmer's dream, just increase those kilos of milk solids a year. We'd like to be able to grow some more grass, which we've purchased a toe and fert machine to follow the cows around a little bit more intensively, and just try to grow that bit of extra cover to save in buying so much silage. We've also got a few projects on the way. A hay barn should arrive very shortly, and we should be able to put that up, which will save some waste. We have a feed pad through the robotic dairy, so we feed a lot of straw and silage through there. And if the straw is shedded out, it's not in a shed, it has that waste around the outside that the cows don't like to eat. So if we can sort of save that waste, it just saves us another job of picking that old hay up through the feed pad too. We'd like to split a few more larger paddocks up, just set the farm up a little bit better for our system, and look to grow some fodder crops for the young stock, just to get them finished off a little bit better.
The last question for you, Shannon. If there is a dairy farmer listening right now who's on the fence about automatic milking, what's your number one piece of advice for them?
Yeah, just do it. It is a game changer. The amount of information that you can get out of your cows. You can sit there for hours studying the reports and analysing. It's fantastic. The health benefits to the cows. The cows are just so happy and contented. They're not pushed anywhere. They just do everything in their own time. I couldn't. And our animal health bill is getting lower every year too, which is exciting to see. I've spoken to a few other farmers that have converted from traditional herringbone or rotary dairies to the robots, and they've said the same thing, that their animal health bill it's gone down by at least half. So it's that has to say something. For happier, healthier cows are going to produce more milk.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Dairy Experience podcast and sharing your story.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, if you are interested in exploring the possibilities of dairy automation on your farm, just book a free consultation. Reach out to your local Lely Center or give us a call on 03 93 94 1090. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on our next episode.